what drives you to keep performing and spending time on the road like this?
Kids. The kids, they come to me and tell me how much fun they're having, and they want to have more fun, and when it's the next show that they can come to. So I talk to Barry. Barry lines them up, and then I show up.
That's awesome. Very cool. How do you feel things have changed in the underground since you were younger up until today?
Audience is a lot more intellectual, a lot more open-minded too. In the early days, they were very one-sided views, and they didn't hardly have no places to play. So they put their best into it, but then sometimes it just didn't get the full potential atmosphere and exposure that was needed. Now they get it, and that's the difference.
What do you think about that? Do you think culture is getting smarter, or?
Well, I don't think so. I think people are getting wiser, and I'm a firm believer in that. But as a man sows, so shall he reap. Is what certain individuals are looking for. They put their minds to it, well, they're going to get a lot out of it. But if they don't try too hard and they just substitute all the while, well, they're not going to really get nothing out of it. So it's to each his own. And some people, they don't really pick up. They don't understand. They try to, but because of their environment, their lack of education, they don't really know how to obtain that kind of information. They fall by the wayside and lose. I just think that it's to each his own. It's their prerogative to live that way, you know? Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, I guess, the struggles that you've had to overcome over the years to get to where you are today.
Well, in the beginning, I didn't know nobody, and nobody didn't know me, so it was kind of rough because there I was dunking my head against the wall, trying to say little things, and I would get to, most of the time, I would get the same response. No, you can't play here. No, we don't know who you're talking about. No, we don't like that kind of music. No, we don't dig the sound. And it was that way for years. But then eventually I kept trying, and the people grew up. The youngsters who did understand finally grew up. And when they grew up, they moved into the positions, vital, important positions. And then when I went and tried it, it made a big difference because they grew up on my music and they knew me, and we made it work.
What kind of message would you have for the young bands out there?
3 things. Don't lose your jobs. Stay at home and value your mother and fathers.
What does family mean to you, and how important is family in society, in culture?
Everything. Everything is gathered around your family. And my deepest condolences on you in your particular struggle. We all have struggles. Every man within himself has a struggle. Every man has a burden to keep. Some people are still looking for sons. And you could find one of them and hip them to your struggle and maybe find you a new father image. But anyway, as for me, family, it means everything. A mother and a father. And when you do find them, you stick to them and you hold on tight. You don't let go.
Out of bounds.
No more chains, no more strings.
Out of bounds.
You know, I keep sitting at my hand. I'll pull the eye out and you
What do you think that is? What are some of these reasons why in our family, as important as it is, just kids don't recognize it as much. Everyone's getting divorced, everyone's getting separated, there's so much division.
Lack of education. They didn't know the school. They dropped out early in life, and so now their reward is confusion.
We're over at Bogan.
You speak about education, which I see is very important for you. It's very important for culture as a whole to survive.
Yep.
The way that you learn, how do you learn?
You learn from your Bible and other books, encyclopedias, and reading stories about other people's lives.
So, how does one stay open-minded in the face of a culture that tells you what to believe? How do you stay open-minded?
Keep reading, keep trying. You gotta look, seek, and when you seek, you'll find a way.
Okay.
Seek and ye shall find.
What does love mean to you?
Well, love is God. To me, God is love, and love is God. From when you hold on to God's principles and you read your Bible, you'll find out the truth for yourself.
Do you think that there are different kinds of love? Because now there's, same-sex love is becoming a lot more widespread.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Different forms of love, different expressions of love.
Whatever turns you on, it's gonna be particularly out of line though, because it's not the way that it was meant to be. And some people only do it just because it's a fad and they think that everybody's into it, but nobody's really into it, and people don't really like it. They just tolerate it. But it still hasn't been passed as a law. It's been only observed and acknowledged as what people do. Services like the military, they acknowledge them, but they get it the roughest of all. So if I was the persons who were doing it, I'd tell them to stop doing it and find themselves a nice woman. All these sweet girls out here, gotta take time out to go and see one of them.
One of your close friends, John Joseph, for a very long time, he's outspoken about the police state, about military, among many other things.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion on, the current military complex and where things are at right now with the economy and?
Oh, I think that it's real, man. I think it's real. Those guys are not playing around. Obama and the rest of them mean business, so don't challenge him. Because he is prepared. They are prepared for war, wherever they may be. So the best thing to do is just put down your arms and go together in peace and go somewhere and have fun.
How would you, propose one that separates themselves from all the darkness and the negativity that it seems the media and the world and the money is trying to push into us?
They gotta be creative and find things that they like to do and do them. Peaceful things, gathering up in peace, talking with people. It's not enough anymore because they don't want to hear no more about talks. They want action. So the action is live in peace, learn how to cook, learn how to be a good person or a better person. Take time out to understand where a man is coming from and how you can help. We can see yourself in a certain predicament that might bring forth a solution to what the problem is.
Okay. Now, how do you stay healthy, HR, after all these years? Because you look very healthy.
Oh, I just keep on trying. Stay off of drugs.
So no smoking?
Nah, I gave all that crap up.
What was it doing to you? Because a lot of people smoke. Why did you stop?
Went to the hospital and the doctor told me I had to.
Okay. And And that was how long ago?
Oh, about 7 years ago.
So how do you feel since then?
Much better.
Oh, great.
I do get headaches still once in a while and migraines, but they only last a few minutes, and I take my medicine and they go away.
There's a lot of controversy about weed culture, and you know, in your case, it was part of your religion, right?
It was, it still is. Some people say it's the hero of the nation. I say to each his own.
I mean, do you feel moderation is possible if you're practicing it as a ritual part of a religion?
Well, the government says that it's been prohibited and discriminatory measures now exist. Well, it hasn't been completely legalized, but what it has done, what the government has done, is put up in a position where it has been decriminalized. So people have to understand that it's still illegal. And anytime they want to, they can take you and put you in jail. But if you really, really need it for glaucoma or cancer or some other backwards disease, you give it a try. But all I can say is be very careful, because it's not no time to be put in jail. Because once you're in jail, they got you, and you're gone. And gone is gone.
Final words of wisdom to offer your fans and the people out there watching this.
Yes, there is. All that stuff about the exorcist, that's not true. Don't believe it. There ain't no such thing as somebody's head spinning around and around and around like that in a room, jumping up and down and screaming and cussing. All that stuff is garbage. Don't believe it. Because the angel of the Lord ain't nothing like that. He's just the opposite. Very nice and very understanding, and nobody can tell you can't be a Rasta because of the color of your skin or what kind of hair you got, because you can. You can be white as snow and have the straightest hair of all, but it will still grow in the knots if you give it a chance. And stay in school. Obey the golden rule. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. It's so true. And I would just say, if you do intend on playing in the band, then pick the ones you want to play with by how hard they are inside their heart. Not what it sounds like on the outside, but what kind of person they are on the inside. You can get a lot accomplished that way.
That's beautiful. So, lastly, the documentary. Talk briefly about that and what your plans are for it and what it represents for you.
Oh, it just represents an answer, a solution, a way to better myself.
It's very inspiring. I watched the trailer and the way that it kind of summarizes your journey and how you marched to your own beat. And you didn't do what everyone told you to do. You just did what you felt like doing, whether it was playing this way or that way, or living this way or living that way. I think it says a lot about you as a person. People can learn a lot from, I guess, your independence and your independent thinking. So,
Yep,
it's a big inspiration.
good. I'm glad it was.
What do you want kids to learn from the documentary?
Well, I want them to learn a better way of living. Like I said before, just a solution, a way to get better results, a way to get problems solved, answered in this big quest called chaos. Somebody needs a brighter way to live, and that's what I got to do to give them a better way of living.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
You're a very good man.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you. They get you charged, let me tell you about it.